Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, Muslim faithful in Nigeria join the rest of the world to mark Eid al-Kabir. President Muhammadu Buhari asks Nigerians to be steadfast, insists his administration is determined to reposition the country. And Nigerian security agencies beef up security across the country as Inspector General of Police assures Muslim faithful of hitch-free festivities. Muslims in Nigeria are today joining their counterparts all over the world to mark Eid al-Kabir or Eid al-Adha, otherwise known as the Feast of Sacrifice, one of the most important festivals in the Islamic calendar. According to Islamic tradition, it's a festival dating back to the days of Prophet Ibrahim, believed to have been called upon by God to sacrifice Ishmael, his only son at the time. A ram was provided for the sacrifice in place of Ishmael. Eid al-Kabir is seen to underscore the values of obedience, faith, sacrifice and submission, which every Muslim is expected to imbibe. Meanwhile, the president has joined Muslim faithful in his country home of Daura in Katsina State to observe the Eid al-Kabir festival. In his message to Nigerians, President Muhammadu Buhari applauded their steadfastness in the face of the current difficult times the country is passing through. He, however, wants Nigerians to appreciate the efforts of his administration to revamp the economy, tackle insecurity, as well as corruption.
I want Nigerians to realize that what this government inherits after 16 years of PDP and 8 consecutive governments, there was no savings, no infrastructure is done, no power, no rail, no road, no security. This is what the other party left for Nigerians. And let them see what we have done from Boko Haram to what we are trying to do now with the militants. And we have identified these problems, 3 of them. Number 1, security. You have to secure a country to efficiently manage it. Number 2, economy, especially jobs for youth. Number 3, fighting corruption, which is continuous. Now the youth, those that have land, okay, Central Bank and Ministry of Agriculture have done something about it. Those that don't have land and they had been to the university, they are graduates, there is an arrangement made by them under a ministerial committee under the vice president. So really, we have plans, we know what to do, we are doing our best, and we want Nigerians to do their best too.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. Also in the spirit of the season, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, is asking Nigerians to remain committed to the cause of one united country. In his message on the occasion of Eid al-Kabir, the Senate President calls on Muslims and all Nigerians to pray for peace and quick recovery of the nation's economy. He says Nigerians, irrespective of ethnic or religious affiliation, should live in harmony with one another and celebrate the true love and grace of God to mankind through sacrifice, as signified by Eid al-Kabir. Now, staying with the Salah celebrations, this time in the north-central region specifically, where it's been observed under heavy security presence, especially in the nation's capital, Abuja. And the Inspector General of Police, who was also one of the dignitaries that observed their prayers at the Muslim prayer ground in Abuja, has been explaining the reasons behind the heavy deployment of security personnel. A combined team of armed policemen, Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Department for State Security were seen at different prayer grounds.
Obviously, from all the indications, from all the situations we find all over the country, our policemen are on the ground, parading, ensuring that we provide security in all the praying grounds and the recreation centers. All the police officers, together with all the security agencies in this country, are all on the ground to ensure that the security of this country is guaranteed during this period of festivities. The message is that all Nigerians, to put our heads together to ensure that this country remains peaceful and united more than before.
And staying in the nation's capital of Abuja and concerning also the Salah celebrations, the Chief Imam, that is the Deputy Chief Imam of the Abuja National Mosque, Mr. Ahmed Onilewura, has called on all Nigerians to draw from the lessons of Eid al-Kabir to tolerate one another for national peace and unity. The Deputy Chief Imam, who led the prayer at the Muslim National Prayer Ground, urged Muslims and Christians to unite in the spirit of Eid al-Kabir.
The significance and importance of the sacrifice of the ram after the prayer. The most important of it is for us to ready to sacrifice our lives, to sacrifice our duties, to sacrifice everything that we are blessed with for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our duty as Muslim is to be very peaceful and to promote peace, harmony, tranquility among everybody, be they Muslim or Christian or atheist or free thinkers, whatever they are. We must accept them, receive them as our brothers and sisters in Al-Islam. We should come together in order to bring our country higher and higher.
Unlike other Muslim worshippers in the northern part of the country, worshippers in the southern part of the country also mark the day with prayer. From Lagos and Ogun in the southwestern part of Nigeria to Anambra and Imo in the southeast, and then the south-south states of Bayelsa and Delta, worshippers came out in large numbers to pray. In Lagos, leaders appealed to Nigerians to be patient with the government of the day in addressing the current economic recession in the country.
It's a day most Muslims look forward to, the Eid al-Kabir. And in Lagos, worshippers filing to the Dodon Barracks praying ground. The high turnout of dignitaries, among them are two former Lagos governors, Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Deputy Governor of Lagos, and the Oba of Lagos. The children too were very well represented, many of them wearing bright faces, hoping for a better future. And then the prayers begin. Bearing in mind the current economic recession, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State calls for patience, while the APC national leader Bola Tinubu defends the launch of Change Begins With Me.
What you need today is hanging on steadfastly to hope, believing in the leadership of the country that they will turn around the economy. Nobody wants unemployment. Nobody wants austerity. Nobody wants sovereign.
For the recession, I just want to implore Nigerians to be patient with us, to understand that in the process of trying to get out of economic hardship, it takes a while. And by the grace of God, God Almighty is going to take this country to prosperity.
Allahu Akbar.
In neighboring Ogun State, worshippers gather at the Lantoro Central Praying Ground in the state capital.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Where we find ourselves, with where we are coming from, I think the government, yes, it may appear that it's tough, but we are almost getting to the corner now. And once we just take the bend, we are going to be on a straight path.
Not many will expect to see a large crowd of Muslim worshippers in Imo State, being a location far from the predominantly Muslim states of the north.
It is not the action.
But here, hundreds of Muslims are worshipping at the Central Mosque in Owerri, the state capital. And 55 kilometers away from Owerri is another praying ground in Awka, Anambra State. It's drizzling here, but that will not stop the prayers from going on. And then the traditional killing of the ram. Security checks at the prayer ground in Yenogwa, Bayelsa State, after which the prayer was led by the chief imam. There was also a large turnout of worshippers at the premises of the Oshimili local government headquarters in Asaba, Delta State. This is one of the major Muslim feasts, an Islamic festival to commemorate the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to follow Allah's command to sacrifice his son Ishmael. And today's teaching is centered on sacrifice and love, virtues which many say are required by every individual in Nigeria, especially at this time of economic recession.
That's how the prayers went in the south, southeast, and southwestern parts of the country. When we come back, we'll also see how Salah is being observed in Benin City, Borno State, and Kaduna State. Please stay with us.